Welcome to the DATRE Transcripts. Transcript 021. DATRE answers Kim. John. I thought we had answered the questions from Kim, but I missed a couple of questions that she had at the bottom of the page. Her question is, could you also explain DATRE being a universal spirit compared to people who are channeling from the dead zone and other areas? DATRE. All right, we'll take that one first. The difference is that the communication that you have that is coming through the other channeling that you call other than universal is that the other channeling is coming from basically two sources. Basically, I said. They are coming from an alternative reality of what I have termed, for easier understanding, a sub-reality. Or it is being channeled from what you call your dead zone. Your dead zone are those people that have had planetary life. They have lived their life. They have ended their life and are what you call dead. Now, the difference being that when you are dead, you are so used to being in physicality that basically the first thing you want to do when you die is you want to put a body around you immediately. In other words, you build yourself a pseudo body in the dead zone. And as we have stated before, that when you die, you are no smarter than you were before the minute you died. In other words, everybody thinks that you should be getting some grand and glorious things from the dead zone, and in some cases you are, and in some cases you aren't. But because people are not familiar with the different types of channeling, you will find that they will have to learn to be discerning on their own. Just like everything else, you discern for yourself what you think is appropriate material for you and which is not. Now, from a universal standpoint, we are more alive than you are, because we definitely know who we are, or we could not reside here at all. Just take a small example. If you were today to go out into the universe, the big universe as I have termed it, and you are told everything you need is here, build a universe, but you can use none of the principles or any of the thought patterning that you used when you were on planet Earth. Now begin. What would you do? Would you have enough within you that would have enough knowledge to know where to start? Now that is why we have said, and we will say again, you need to know yourself. You need to know who you are. What you are doing in physicality, what is your purpose in physicality. Find out what functions that way so that at least you have an idea of what your planet functions like. When you find out what your planet functions like and what you function like, then you will have the opportunity to make steps in other directions. So what I'm saying is, and it is not a hierarchy, it isn't that you have to, it is not a hierarchy thing in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that gets you from what you like to refer to as point A, point B, the only thing that gets you there is knowledge. You can acquire knowledge in any way that you wish to acquire it. When you have acquired knowledge, you have turned it over, you have looked at it, and you have discerned where it goes in your thought patterning, where it goes in placement of understanding you. Now, you can read all the books that have a tremendous amount of knowledge in them, but that does not necessarily mean that in reading the books that contain knowledge, you comprehend what is in them, because comprehension comes when you make what we would call a discovery. A discovery that says, oh, that's the way it works. That I understand. Then you comprehend. Then you have something that you can build upon. But from a universal standpoint, as we have said before, we are giving you information to help you understand yourself, to help you understand the concept of your physicality upon a planet, and to help you understand that there is a great deal more in the construction of your reality, of your learning processes, in your, shall we say, evolution. Because the more you feel you have knowledge of, the more you will find you know less and less. You'll get to the point that you'll say, I don't think I know anything, because you have come to the realization that even what you know at the present time is not that much. And when you come to the realization that it's not that much, you're going to start looking and searching for information that will help you to know what it's all about. Now, as we've said before, the training of a channel for universal energy is not an overnight process, simply because it is contacting energy with which the physical structure is not familiar. In other words, if you contact someone within the dead zone or someone within your sub-realities, the vibration from the dead zone to your physical body is minuscule. They're only a step away from you. So your grandfather can come through you and give you information, and you're getting this information and say, "Oh, I'm channeling," and you begin to take the information that's coming into your head and speaking it. Now, that is not that difficult because there is very little vibrational change there at all. In fact, seeing them there in the dead zone is seeing the vibration that you recognize and putting a picture on it. And that's how you see into that what you call your dead zone, because they're only a slight vibration from you. So that is not that difficult. Then you go into another reality. There is a little difference in the vibration. Now, those that are connecting up with another reality that are bringing information through, there are those that go into trance, shall we say, and the entities will come in and give information. But there again, that is information that is not that dissimilar from that which you get on your planet or that which you get from the dead zone, because from those two vantage points, they do not see the picture from a universal standpoint, which is entirely different. That is why some individuals have trouble with the DATRE material, because we are looking at it in relationship to not individuals, but in relationship to mass consciousness and gestalts and archetypes and that sort of thing that you can relate to, but not individual peoples. We also can tell you about energies and this sort of thing. Now, that does not mean that the dead zone can't tell you about that. That does not mean that the other realities cannot tell you about that. The only thing is, they have picked up the vibration that we have brought onto the planet and have picked that up, and sometimes they don't get it quite right. But that is for your discernment. That is for your decision to make. Those things are up to you to make your decisions. What we're trying to do is trying to help you get in touch with yourself. You see, one thing that we notice in the mass consciousness when they are given information from the dead zone and also from other realities and sub-realities to a certain extent is that they're working with your day-to-day problems. They are more problem solvers. They will help you with your relationships. They will predict what is probably coming up in your future. You can take what they work with, the stars, and they make all kinds of things on paper, and they'll tell you, "Oh, this is coming up for you, and you are going to have this kind of an experience and that kind of an experience," and you'll say, "Oh, that sounds marvelous." Guess what you'll do? You will try and take that information given to you and get your life to follow what they have told you, because you feel that it's coming from a higher source. Anyway, that's what it is. Now, we do not tell you what's going to happen in your relationships because we don't care. That is not of prime importance to us. Of prime importance to us is turn yourself around and look in and then look out. You see, everybody is a problem solver, everybody is a helper, and that is not what we are trying to get you to do, is to go to people for help or be a helper. We're saying, know you. Because until you know you can go no place else. You have to figure out this reality before you can go into another reality for experience. Now, there is going to be a time in your future where there is going to be a dramatic change upon your planet, and there will be separations of vibrations carried within certain individuals. There will be some that will be of a lesser vibration. In other words, they love the planet, they enjoy physicality, but they have never experienced or even had the inkling of experiencing anything other than planetary existence. They were born on this planet. There are others who are beginning to know themselves, and in order to avoid a great deal of confusion, there will be a split, and those will go to another reality. But that does not mean that that is any higher or lower or anything else. It will be a different experience to help you, shall we say, on the way to knowing self. These things are coming up. We are not ever going to put any time element on anything. That is one thing we will not do. The universe is orchestrated. There is a universal timing with everything, and that universal timing depends on a great many things, and not just your little planet Earth. There is a great deal more involved when there is evolution of a species. Now, you see, this is the information that we can bring to you. We can tell you about these new energies coming in. If you know there's new energies coming in and they're going to be energies that you have never experienced before, it can help you in staying relaxed. Allow the energies. If you get to know yourself and who you are, these energies can be to your advantage because they are going to be different. They have not been on the planet before. They will make a difference in your existence in the physical being, guaranteed. It is how you handle these new energies. That is where the difference is going to come in, because there is going to be a great deal of strength in these new energies. So the reason that we are telling you this is because we want you to start observing yourself. Observing your world that you are living in. Observe, and the more you observe, the more you will get in touch with yourself, because you are putting the picture in front of you. If you're putting the picture in front of you, like you say, you're creating your own reality. Then, if you're putting that picture of your reality in front of you, watch how you are reacting to what you are doing. That is the difference in our teachings and other teachings. Next question, please. John. The last part of that question is who, what, when, where, why, and how is DATRE? DATRE. Well, what was the first one? There were so many I lost the first one after I got to the last one. John. Who? DATRE. Who? It took us a number of days to have Aona and John sit, and we gave them the letters of your alphabet. They were to take the letters and change them in as many different directions as they could. Then we would say, no, that does not fit. So then we would take out a few letters and add a few more letters. They would make as many different words out of that as they could. This went on for a long time because we were looking for something that would most closely match the vibration that we were projecting. All right, now who? There are many. You see, when you are in the big universe, you don't have names like Mary, Joe, John, Jim, whatever. We don't have names because when you get to the point that you don't need a name and you don't need a body and you are comfortable in knowing who you are, and you have in your exploration of self realized that you have, this is a very simplistic way of putting it, but innate abilities. In other words, this is your expertise. This is what I do best. Now, in your experiences in other realities, you have picked up many things. So you'll find that those that have different, shall we say, talents, have always gravitated in that direction toward that one talent. When you get out into the big universe, you still have maintained a certain talent. That's very, very simplistic, but that is where I'm putting it. All right. You are known by your vibration. That is your signature print. It is no different than it is for you on your planet because you have within your physical body what we would call a signature print. That is your construct of who you think you are at the present time, and the vibrational quality that is carried by that which you think you are in physicality. Your body also carries a vibrational signature print. The vibrational signature print is what allows and disallows the movement from reality to reality in a physical construct. If you leave the physical construct and do what you call out of body, your signature print then becomes the you that you are at the present time. That also is what determines where you can travel, because you cannot travel to a point that your signature print does not match. In other words, the vibration that separates your realities. If you have a signature print of you that you are, you leave the physical being behind. You can travel with the you that you are through the vibrational barriers of subrealities only as far as your vibration will allow. In other words, if you get through the closest reality to you and you go through that one and you go through the next one, maybe by the time you get to the third or fourth one, it is like you hit a wall. Now, you felt the vibrational change when you went through the first two vibrational walls that separate realities. You felt that. You felt that little bit of change because you had to make that little bit of change yourself in order to pass through, shall we say. But you get down the line a bit and you can't go through that because you do not match it. All right. When you get to the point that you can whisk through realities, then there is nothing to stop you. That's the point that we are in the big universe. In other words, travel is. It doesn't matter because we have matched them. So once you've matched them, you've matched them. That's the end of that. But as to how many? Many, many, many. Next, John. What? When? Where? DATRE. What? Well, I think I've explained that. We are a vibrational frequency that works together. We are closer to each other, shall we say, than you are to your body, and yet we are all separate. Now, that's as close as I can come because it is a concept you don't understand. But a vibration in the big universe is shared. It's all there, and we are there, and it is all interchangeable. But we still maintain what you term in your physical reality as an identity, which is that which is you is you. That's it. You can change in many different ways, and we change constantly too, because in our changing, that allows us at some point in time, if that is so desired and can be achieved, we go to other universes because we want the challenge as well as you do. We enjoy the challenge of discovery. Now, you will find that there are many that do not have a discovery gene within them. In other words, they're not interested in discovery. Discovery is something that does not matter to them one way or another. But there are others that are wanting to know. Their discovery gene is blasting away in all different directions, and they want to know. They want to know. They want to know. That is the difference in the individuals that are listening to DATRE and the ones that are not interested in DATRE, because our information is that different. It takes a little bit of adjusting, and if you're not into discovery and you don't care about discovery, then this information is not of interest to you. It's as simple as that. All right. John, the last two terms are why and how is DATRE. DATRE, why? To bring you information about that which is your physical discovery upon this planet. In other words, trying to help you understand your psyche, trying to help you understand your consciousness, helping you understand the different realities that exist. Different realities cannot be put into words because everyone experiences differently. But to explain to you in very minute details to help you understand, you create your reality because that is your big stumbling block. The other big stumbling block is your belief. Now, it has been stated by individuals. I certainly would like to see someone upon this planet that does not function from the standpoint of beliefs. Well, I can tell you there are 2, 3, there's quite a number that I can mention to you that are known to Aona and John, that they have met personally, and we can name others around your planet Earth that we can identify because their vibration is such that they are identifiable. These individuals function without belief. It is a very simple process, and when it is realized what a belief system is, then you don't need it anymore. But you have to first realize what a belief system is in order to realize that you don't need it. Now, some things are in reverse order. There again, it is the discovery. It is the finding out what your beliefs are all about and how they affect your everyday existence. That becomes a study in itself. And when you finally come to the realization, regardless of how long it takes you, if it takes what you call many years, the discovery and the realization of what a belief system is, you'll find a shift that will take place within the physical being that you can actually feel. Because you will realize that you do not have to function with beliefs. It is like somebody took the shackles off. You have a freedom that you have never experienced before. So that is one of the big stumbling blocks. Did I mention any others? Did I mention anything else that needed to be explained? You create your own reality, all right? John, that's a big number. DATRE, that is a big number, and that is one that we are trying to explain to you. That, like with the Pleiadians, like with your everyday life, and like everything else, you are the one that is creating the pictures in front of you for your experience, and that realization is another shift, and that is a big shift. Everybody says you create your own reality. Oh, really? You don't understand what you are doing. We will come at this question. We will come at this answer over periods of time in many different ways. There are many, many ways of explaining in greater detail continuously on any subject. It has all been brought forth many, many times upon your planet in different ways, in different forms, in different words, but it is basically the same thing. You are on a path, or whatever you want to call it, a journey, whatever. It is a journey of discovery. It is the discovery of wanting to know, and when you know, that is your knowing. It is not your neighbor. It is not your husband or wife. It is not your children, your mother or father, or anybody else. It is your knowing. Your knowing is not the same as anyone else's knowing, because before you came on this physical planet, you were you. And when you leave this physical planet, you will still be you. But your path, road, journey, whatever, has been discovery. Wanting to know, wanting to discover. That is what brings a life spark into your physical being. That is what makes it work. That is why you were able to bring this information in and work with it and do your own evolution. It is nobody else's. Nobody can tell you how to do it. I cannot tell you how to do it. None of us can tell you how to do it, because those that have had types of physicality, not only on this planet, but on others that have been types of physicality, have all had to do it their own way. There are no two alike, because that in itself, this universe is a universe of continual creation, and if there were two alike, creation would cease, and the universe would vanish. It's as simple as that. Now, the next question. John, the how part. How is DATRE? Oh, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? DATRE, much laughter. Well, okay. If you are that fine, I must be finer, because you're still stuck in a body and I'm not. John, yes, but I'm experiencing things you're not. DATRE, true. But I get quite a bit of experience when I come through this body, believe me. It is a grand experience and I enjoy every single minute of it. It gives me a chance to view things from an entirely different perspective, because I view it from an entirely different perspective. Then the whole universe is benefiting from my experience. You see, that is one of the things. You think you are so minuscule. You are so important. Do you know that every single one of you, regardless of who you are and what you are doing, you are experiencing, whether you want to or not? That is the part of existence that changes everything continuously. That is why the comment is made, all that is continually discovering all that it is. Simply by having somebody sitting in a jail watching television, they say, well, what is that individual adding? Well, he's sitting watching the TV. He's doing something. So that is an experience and expression of that one. You see, everything cannot be mamby-pamby. It isn't set up that way. You are in a competitive reality, and to the point that you have a great split. And you have day, you have night, you have yes, you have no, you have black, you have white, but you don't really realize what's going on. Everything that happens to every individual upon this planet, just this one planet, affects the whole universe. Every other planet that has existence upon it affects the whole big universe. So it is a constant discovery. It is a constant absorption of energies. It is a constant working throughout. There is constant motion in everything. Everything. And just because we're here and you are there makes us no more grand than you are here. There's one difference. Through discovery, we know. Do the same thing. Through discovery, you can know, and you can sit up here with us, with our feet on the desk. That is the difference. You have within you everything to be where we are. The only thing is, you do not know it. And we have said this again and again, and we've said it for eons. That's the difference. That's the only difference. But you need to know. Discover. Turn over a rock and have the rock talk to you. If that's what you can get information out of, fine. Einstein did it. He talked to a flower and then he couldn't explain the theory of relativity because he had gained that by looking at a flower. And he discovered everything was relative. Now, how are you going to put that in the nuts and bolts language? That's where his difficulty came in. But you see, that is a knowing. That is a discovery. Now, everybody is not going to be an Einstein, I will guarantee you that. But the discovery is the important part. So have we covered that question? John, we have. DATRE. All right, so is there anything else to add? John, I don't think so. Unless you want anything you want to add? DATRE. I don't think I have a great deal more to add. If everyone could look out these windows like I am looking out these windows through a physical being and seeing the beauty that exists, this is one of the reasons I enjoy coming into a physical body again, shall we say. John, hey, if you haven't tried it, don't knock it. DATRE. I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed it. I enjoy looking through the channel's eyes because I can view with such intensity and such joy that it cannot be described. But there again, it raises the vibration within the individual, so I have been careful not to get too excited. We have enjoyed being with you. We will see you again. We are DATRE.